Hey guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid News Now. And real quick, for those of you coming in to dislike this video, guns blazing, wait, this is legit and it comes from the Russo brothers themselves. And after we talk about the quote in question, we'll talk a little bit more about Wolverine and XMen Apocalypse and Weapon X's involvement. Then we'll round out our day with some news about Katana and Suicide Squad. But first, let's talk about the reason you're all here. Did Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice cause Captain America: Civil War to get made? The answer is yes. And this actually comes to us from a great article in The Hollywood Reporter, which I highly recommend you check out for some more great stuff. Now, how did this come to light? Well, in the interview with THR, the Russo brothers were apparently asked about how the superhero film genre is changing and how they're keeping up with it and stuff like that. And then the interviewer got a little more than he bargained for when their answer was surprisingly frank. They told the interviewer that after they finished Winter Soldier, they wanted to do something bold and deconstruct the Marvel Universe. And Kevin Feige, though he thought they were on the right track, was initially hesitant until something happened. Let's check out the quote. Kevin Feige is a maverick, and he's very sensitive to how people are responding to his content. He said he thought we might be right, and after they announced Batman v Superman, he said, "You guys are absolutely right. We needed to do something challenging with the material or we were going to start losing the audience." And so there you have it, straight from the Russo brothers themselves. Batman v Superman was at least one of the definitive reasons why Kevin Feige pulled the trigger on a challenging movie like Civil War in the first place. And I guess it can't be fought anymore. DC superfans, you were right. Take a lap. This is your one shining moment. Soak it in. But I don't really care so much about how it happened as much as I care about the fact that it is happening in the first place. I mean, everything I've heard from everyone that I've talked to about Civil War is that it is absolutely incredible. So, hype meter broken, guys. On to our next story. On the heels of that new XMen Apocalypse trailer yesterday, we have some new details about the movie from the film's director, Bryan Singer. Before we dive into it, quick spoiler warning if any of you want to go into Apocalypse blind. For those of you that want to stay here, I highly recommend you check out the article itself, because while I'm extracting one or two points to talk about, there's a lot more discussed in this article. So over the course of this Q&A, they discussed a variety of topics, from Raven's folk hero status to Apocalypse's backstory and even the astral plane of all things. But the most interesting thing about the article to me discusses the best moment in yesterday's trailer, which was that badass final reveal that Wolverine is officially in the movie. Singer confirmed that we are indeed returning to X2's Alkali Lake Weapon X site, where we will probably meet Wolverine at what's got to be a stressful time in his life. However, the big takeaway from Singer's comments is that there's more to his role in the movie than just the 7-second snippet that we saw at the end of the trailer. So let's take a look at his quote.
"I will say it's not simple. There's something more pivotal that occurs with that. It hints to a sequence that again fits within the canon of all 6 movies and the birth of a new direction. It's not insignificant, nor is it simply just a throw-in."
So what could he be talking about here? Honestly, I have no clue, but it does tease that there's a bigger role for Wolverine in the movie than we might have previously thought. Sadly, we'll probably just have to wait until May 27th to figure it out. And on to our last story of the day. Comicbook.com talked a little bit to Karen Fukuhara about her role as Katana in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie. Among the variety of topics they discussed, Fukuhara confirmed that she is in fact working for Waller and Rick Flag and is there to, in her words, keep a rowdy bunch in line. But she also discussed what to me is one of the most exciting inclusions about her character in Suicide Squad, her famous Soul Taker sword, and there is a great comic book twist, so let's check out her quote. "She has her husband's soul in her sword, and I got to talk to Maseo throughout the film, and yes, of course, that's in the film, but you'll have to wait and see how much of that plays into the movie." And that is ripped straight from the page. That is vintage comics Katana. In the comics, Katana's husband, Maseo, was murdered by his brother Takeo with a magical sword. She disarmed Takeo and took his sword for her own, only to discover that it was possessed by the spirit of her husband. And this comes along just when I thought that I couldn't be more excited for Suicide Squad than I already am. So of course, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this, so let me know down below. So that wraps it up for today's Hybrid News Now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you liked what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider supporting us on Patreon for goodies like all of our original content a day early. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.